Today I want to talk about reading metric micrometers. And I'm just going to write this down. This is metric micrometers. I did standard micrometers already, so this is a little different. And I'm going to go through it. Now, once again, the micrometer is held by the frame and can be adjusted like so when we want to measure something. We hang on to the frame. The anvil is this little part, the spindle, and that's what's working its way. Now, I can show you, this is quite a large metric micrometer. I can't read it. I think it's 125 to 150, as opposed to this little guy, which is 0 to 25 millimeters. Now, the thing about a micrometer is they only read 25 millimeters at a time. So this guy here only comes out 25 millimeters. You would have to get a standard to make sure that it's calibrated correctly. We're almost there. I don't think you can hold these ones with one hand, but we'll try. So to just check that, I believe I've got it. There we go. So that should read 0. If it's not, I'm going to have to calibrate it. But lucky I'm not going to be using this one. So it is off about 0.005 of an inch. So we're going to have to adjust that. Now it's just a matter of rotating this around. But we're going to be using the 0 to 25 today because it's much easier to hold. And I can just zero it out here really quickly. And it's right on. So you never want to use a micrometer and turn it too hard into the anvil, because as it heats up, it could damage the threads. Very fine threads in here. One revolution is half a millimeter. So there's each revolution of this is half a millimeter. So that speaks to how do you read these things. Now, a lot of people don't like to use metric micrometers. I do. They're easier to read than standard. There's less work to be done. So let's look at this. We've got on our upper part of our sleeve here, we have this. These represent millimeters. Millimeters. Each one is a millimeter. So when we're reading this, we just look at the top and say, how many full millimeters can we see? And in this one, it's 7. So we got 7 millimeters. I should have mentioned that this is a 50 to 75 micrometer. It says down here. We have to keep this in perspective when we read these. So that's 7 millimeters. Basically, it's going to be 50 to 75. So we're going to have to add that in afterwards. So we're already at 7. We're going to be at 50. We'll have to add 50 to it. So it's going to be 57 something. So so we took the millimeters, 7. Now each one below that is 0.5 millimeters. So we got 0 to 1. Oops, we forgot a line in there. We better just put that in there. So 0 to 50, and then 50 to 1. If you look at our thimble, you'll see that it goes up. Well, it goes up in increments here. But when it reaches 50, which is right here, it goes back to 0. So this would be 49, and 50 would be right here. So we rotate this from 0 to 50 there, and then rotate it around to, which would be back to 50, which would be there, and it just continually unwinds like that. So to read this, we'll say we have 7. Do we see the half after the 7? We do not. So there's not going to be a half in there. So then we just go to the scale. We're at 45, that's going to be 46, so it's 0.46 millimeters. So now we can see we have 57.46 millimeters. And that's all there is to it. It's a really simple one-step procedure. So let's just do another one. We'll take my sheet of paper here and we'll randomly put it somewhere, right there. Okay? So I can see 4 millimeters. 4. And I can see a half. So that's going to be 0.5. Just put a decimal in there. And then we go over here and we're at 0.46. 0.46. I'll just put the zeros in to make it easier to add. 6, 9, and add the 5, because it's a 5-inch, or 50 millimeters. So we're at 54.96 millimeters. That's all there is to using a metric micrometer. So let's review that one more time. The first thing we look at is how our scale. So I put a 5 there. Then we look at how many full millimeters we have. We had 7. Then we look at how many halves. So 7, we don't have the half, but if we did, we would write it down as the half. And then you look at your scale. I hope you found this helpful.